My goodness. I like my shirt. It's pretty nice. I think it's Joshua 1:9. Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Hi guys. It is officially 4:30. So I hope you guys know what that means. We have a new person to interview today. I don't know about you guys, but where I'm currently at, which is Houston, Texas, the weather's pretty good today. Is the weather good wherever you guys are at? If you're in the States, out of the States, is the weather good today? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, she said she knows. I know, right? Like, I agree too. Like, yeah. Hi, Jenny. Oh my god, I didn't know you could like comments. That is so cool. You can like comments on lives. Wow. I like that. Okay. So we have some time to kill while we wait for Miss Olamide herself. So before we get started, how's everyone's day going so far? Oh. Oh, okay. That's cool. Hmm. Hairstylist. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'm going to assume that everyone else's day was pretty decent since there's really no one talking about their day. My day was pretty hectic. This morning I had to set up this really interesting juicer for my mom. It was a bit complicated. I was just like, that was that. And then my sister and I wanted meat pie today. So we went to this Nigerian shop and they were out of meat pie. And it took us like 25 minutes to get up there. And then we had to come back and it was very depressing. But yeah, pretty much my day. Well, we're going to get started with our interview. Hi, Olamide.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm actually quite under the weather right now. I have allergies really, really bad. So my eyes have been watering. So my face looks really puffy, but I had to come on and talk to everyone. So I'm excited to chat with you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So if I like sneeze or my eyes start watering, just know it's because I have allergies and I'm like trying to fight the allergies right now.
Yeah, you stay in California,
I
right?
do. Yeah. And I think like
It's
pollen season just
pollen
started.
season. Yeah, I was about to mention what it was like up there in California because I know here in Houston, it's like it's horrible. There's pollen everywhere.
Yeah.
Allergies are through the roof. Like me and my sister, we just had allergies the other day. And it's like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling really bad. I had to not work today because I was literally feeling so bad. I'm feeling better now though, but I definitely had to like. That's why, again, my whole scarf and everything. I was like, everything's staying on because.
Yeah, but you look good.
Thank
You look
you,
really
thank you. I was
good.
like,
I couldn't
everything is
even
staying on
tell.
today because I just don't even have it in me.
Well, you look really good. I couldn't even tell you had allergies until you mentioned it.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So let's hop on into our questions. Since I don't want to keep you on since you do have allergies, unfortunately.
I know. I'm
Um,
sorry, y'all.
it's okay. All right. So we've seen the amazing work that you've done with topicals.
Thank you.
Me personally, I found out about topicals because I'm a skincare junkie myself. I'm always trying to find new things because I've been on that journey where I've tried things that didn't work, made my skin break out badly, and I'm always looking for like a really good brightening serum because like I always have like post acne marks,
Right.
really bad like acne scars and stuff like that. So I remember the Sephora one day and this lady recommended $100 product. I said, let's slow our
Keep
roll right
it.
there.
Keep
Let's
it
slow
on the
our roll right
playground.
there.
You can
That's
have
expensive.
that.
And coincidentally, I ended up seeing topicals on TikTok. And then I saw it on Instagram, and I
That's
was
the
like,
girls
"This
on
is pretty
TikTok. The girls on
cool."
TikTok,
Yeah.
they're carrying us. The
No,
girls on TikTok,
seriously.
I
And
appreciate them.
honestly, your ad campaigns are cute. I love them.
Thank you.
They're really, really cute. And I love how they're like so inclusive. They include everybody, like different bodies, different people, different this. Amazing. And
Thank
I
you.
also like the colors too. Like the colors stand out. Like, wow. That is beautiful.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've done a lot in the community along with being the youngest black woman to raise $2 million. Like $2 million. That's a lot. That's a
Thank
lot.
you.
Especially as young as you are. Like who can truly say that they're like millionaires at this point? Especially as young as you are, like nobody. That is amazing. All right. And having the support of investors such as the incredible Issa Rae, that is truly amazing. Like Issa Rae from Insecure.
Not Issa Rae Ray.
For those who don't know you, could you introduce yourself to them and tell them a little bit about you?
Yes, my name is Olamide Olowe. I am the founder and CEO of Topicals. Topicals is a skincare brand for chronic skin conditions and mental health advocacy. We launched about, I think it's April now, so 19 months ago. I feel like I talk about topicals like it's like a baby, but 19 months ago, so about a little over a year and a half ago, we launched. And yeah, we have just been making products for things like hyperpigmentation and dark spots, eczema and sensitive skin, ingrown hairs, and a couple other categories coming later this year. But no, yeah, it's been really fun. I think our big mission is to make people feel differently about their skin, right? To transform the way they feel about it. And for us, that comes in so many different ways, like the media we consume, which is why our branding is super inclusive because we want to make sure that we create media of what we want to see versus being force fed what the industry wants us to see. We think mental health is super important for people with chronic skin conditions because they're 2 to 6 times more likely to experience depression and anxiety. I mean, even like when I came on here, I was like, excuse my appearance because I'm sick and blah, blah, blah. But we feel like a lot of people have to do that for skin conditions that quite literally are so common that it shouldn't be such an outlier to have them. And I think just so many people aren't talking about these things, even though they have them. And so, yeah, we're available at Sephora. So Sephora online and in 500 plus stores in the United States. We're also available on Sephora.com Canada, and we just recently launched shipping from our website, mytopicals.com, to the UK. So we're working on expansion. It's a lot of work. We're literally only 19 months old, but I'm so appreciative and grateful for everyone's support. And I'm so glad that, our bestseller Faded really does work on all skin tones. Yeah, that's a little bit about me and what I've been working on over the last 2 years.
Wow. I think it's amazing how your company is extremely young and you've made so much. I'm pretty sure if you went on Shark Tank, they'll be blown away. Like, that is amazing. Like, especially with how young, as you just mentioned, like 19 months. That is
Toddler.
amazing.
Is she a toddler? She's not even a toddler. She's not even 2, so she's not a toddler yet. She's still like,
Yeah,
not newborn.
she's still doing like little baby steps.
Baby, she's still goo goo gaga. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And it feels like that sometimes when you're like trying to get things going and like so many people want us to move so quickly to like ship to different locations or you know, we're always struggling with being in stock right now. So it's like people are always like more, 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 and it's really hard to do that when you're older.
Yeah,
A little bit older than a newborn.
Yeah, the last time I was on the website, the faded serum was gone. I was like, only this happens to me. Anytime I need something, gone.
Yes.
Honey pot, gone. Everything is just gone.
Oh, I heard Honey Pot. Someone said Honey Pot sells out faster than the sneakers app, and I love that.
No, it does.
I love that.
It really does.
I really do. Like,
you have to catch them when you catch them.
Shout
like,
out to
it's
B.
so bad.
B from the Honey Pot is a really brilliant entrepreneur. Y'all go follow her. Really, really smart. And yeah, Honey Pot has been blowing up. And yeah, I love that women, Black women specifically, are creating products, and the community is really supportive of us, not just because we're Black women, but because the product is so good.
That's literally it. Like, oh my goodness. I think it's like how Shea Moisture like blew up that one time a couple of years ago. It's like the same thing for like the Honey Pot, Topicals, and all this stuff. I just love to see the support grow and grow more and more. It's amazing. Like, it makes me so excited.
No, I love it so much. I think that seeing support for Black-owned businesses has been super instrumental for the growth of a lot of businesses over the last 2 years. And I think it's amazing that we're in this time period where not only Black folks are supporting Black-owned businesses, but so are other ethnicities, because I think Black folks, we support other brands, buy from other brands regardless of the ethnicity or race of the founder. And I think sometimes when it comes to Black-owned businesses, people relegate us to only being for Black people. And while our products are made with Black people in mind and center Black people, we ourselves as a Black community won't like catch up in this wealth gap if we are not having other communities also support and put money back in our communities. So I think it's super important that it's not just Black people shopping from Black-owned businesses, but that everybody supports Black-owned businesses the way Black people support other people's businesses.
Yeah, I like that. Beautifully said. Beautiful. All right. So our first question is, what is a challenge you face that changed the trajectory of your career?
I think the big one for me was how hard it was to fundraise money for the business. I think I took it 2 ways, right? Positively and negatively. So positively, I took it as when people said no, I just sharpened my pitch. There's a post I posted like probably a week or 2 ago, and it was the first photo is a photo that's blurry of me, and then the second slide is a video that I filmed probably 2.5 years ago when Topicals was like nothing. No one knew it. No one knew me. And I was really trying to get investors, other brands as partners, retailers, and no one thought that like what I was building maybe made sense to them. It just felt so foreign. And so I think the big thing that I took from a lot of the no's was how do I sharpen my pitch so that next time I come back, it sounds and feels right to people versus it feeling like such a foreign concept. I think on the bad side, though, 2 years of pitching can do a damage to your morale and your mental health. And I think over the last 3 years, I've lost a lot of friendships. I lost a lot of just relationships, and even maybe lost myself because I was so focused on making sure this business was successful. All my friends kind of like, not make fun of me, but like realized that I wasn't always the best friend over the last 2-3 years because I was very selfish in investing in myself. And I actually, for so long, felt so bad about this until like probably a month ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was hanging out with my friends and I was like apologizing to them saying, you know, like, I don't think I've always been the best friend. I tell it to my parents, my sister, my fiance, like, I don't always feel like I've been the best partner or sister. And all of them are like, well, we're happy that you chose yourself, you know? And I think, especially in your 20s, you're trying to fit in with everyone. You want everyone to like you. You want everyone to support what you're doing. And what I've come to understand is it's okay to be selfish. And I think there's a limit to that where you don't want to be the person who is only asking for help and never helping others. But I think it's really important for you to be like, starve all distractions. I don't care what anyone else really has going on. I have to focus on myself and put everything, like 110% of myself into this business. And so it's been an adjustment this year coming out of that. I think last year I was really building the team, particularly the exec team, and I have a really strong exec team now that supports me. But this year has been really great because I get to go on vacation now. I get to like Like today I took a day off because I was feeling not great and no
Yeah.
one skipped a beat. So I think it's really important to understand that it's okay to be selfish to a certain extent and to starve the distraction so that you can actually go after your dreams.
Yeah, I think one of the many things that people don't talk about when it comes to being an entrepreneur and running a business is the hard part. I think the hard part is having to face negativity, having to face the no's, rejection, and having to keep going and just having to deal with like all the nitty gritty stuff before you can actually enjoy and reap all of the stuff that you put your hard time into. And I
Exactly.
think that's one of the many beautiful things about like entrepreneurs that like people just don't understand. I mean, I'm not an entrepreneur myself, but I see the drive in so many entrepreneurs today. Like, if it wasn't for entrepreneurs today, I don't think we would have majority of the great things that we enjoy today. You know, for example, like skincare. Somebody had
Yeah.
to branch out and be like, I want to introduce something that could change the game for so many people. I
Yeah.
think by Rihanna when she did her foundation, and I'm pretty sure she was told no many times. They said because she was breaking into cosmetics. Cosmetics
Yeah.
is a very hard industry to break into, and she was also a Black woman
Right.
too. So it's like when she started off with it, people are like, "Oh my God, she's not gonna." And then look what happened. She blew up, and immediately all these other cosmetic brands try to do the same thing, but she did it first, so she gets all the benefits and all the recognition from it because she did something that they refused to do. But at the same time, it was extremely hard for her to do that at the same time. Like,
Right.
and one of the things I do admire was how you said that your family said that you put yourself first. I feel like it's hard to put yourself first in those
It is.
situations because losing people is hard. You know, it's really hard to lose close friendships, lose relationship with family, and like not be able to hang out with them all the time because you want your business to succeed. And like now that you see it succeeding, I feel like you're just extremely proud and extremely happy for like all that you put into it, and it's finally like working out the way they're supposed to.
For sure.
And I just know you just feel so amazing right now because I would most definitely feel like that in that moment because it's like you know what you had to go through these past 2 years to
Yeah.
get here, and now you can like take breaks, sit back, watch it all play itself out, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. I am just now kind of coming to terms with the fact that like the things that I've built, I've been able to build with my team, with people who've supported me. Like I don't think I took everything in last year that was happening. And I think this year it's been really fun to actually take a break and smell the flowers a little bit. So I appreciate like everyone and everything, whether good or bad, that has come my way over the last couple of years. That's like put me in this position.
Yeah. Well, I'm extremely proud of you because
Thank you.
it's not easy. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. Even though it looks easy, it's not.
Yeah, I actually wish people really understood that it's so hard to put yourself out there and to put your product out there. And I think people
Yeah.
can be very critical of, and I probably have had, like before I really became an entrepreneur, I probably also was like, wow, I really don't like that product. You know, you tweet that, you say that, and you don't realize, I mean, you can not like a product. It's totally fine to not like something, but you don't realize the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making that product. And
Yes.
so when you say things, particularly about like Black owned businesses, like people don't realize how much it actually does damage for those businesses.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and that's exactly what it is, an opinion. I love the TikToker, I'm Dre Brown. He says that people's opinions do not pay the bills. And so until he can invoice on people's opinions, he's not, you know, and I care about people's opinions, right? Like, I feel like I'm somewhat of a people pleaser, but I take it in stride now, where it's like, not every opinion is really about you. You know, like, don't catch strays for something that isn't really about you.
Mm.
If it is about you, take the lesson from it, learn from it, implement it. If it's not, keep it pushing because that could be a projection of someone else's insecurity. So
Yeah.
that's what I've come to learn over because I can take feedback really harshly sometimes, particularly
Mm-hmm.
about topicals, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I most definitely had to learn that along the way too, because I've always been told I don't take correction like very well. I mean, if it's coming from my mom, I do not. But it's from when it's from other people, I've had to learn how to understand that when someone's correcting you, it's not an attack. It's just most people want you to do better and be better.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to sit down and like take the hard pill and swallow it, no matter
Yep.
how much you dislike it, how much you don't want to hear it. It's honest, sometimes it's for your own good that you hear that, because if you go around life living the way that you're living, making mistakes after mistakes, nobody's telling you how to fix them, it's kind of like you're refusing to change. And change is important in our lives when it's good change, not
Right.
when it's like you're changing everything about yourself.
Right.
So I most definitely do agree with that. Like, especially when it comes to like listening to people and their unnecessary opinions. Some opinions matter, some opinions don't, but you always have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, what advice would you give to other Black women in the industry regarding how you persevered through those challenges?
I think really lean into your unique insight. There's so many people think experiences that made me feel so much like an outsider, right? Like I was weird, or the things that I thought about were so off, you know? Like I thought about them in a very different way than maybe most people. And I think a lot of people like, why can't you just like chill and just not be so analytical about a product or an idea or a thing? But for me, that is my skill, right? That's my like God-given talent. And I think like leaning talent, the thing that people say, wow, you're so good at this thing. Like, I don't think everyone has to monetize every single talent or skill that they have, but I do think it is really important if you're trying to find whatever this calling is to lean into what you've always been known for. You know, if you're someone who talks back, go be an actor for other people. If you're someone who knows how to draw, start drawing, you know, in your notebook, start creating art and putting it out in the world. You know, like there's a really amazing post I saw today from Mike Amiri, who started Amiri, the brand. And he basically said, if you make a t-shirt, now you're a fashion designer. If you paint a picture in a notebook, now you're a painter. Like, you don't have to seek other people's approval or have a certain amount of likes or follows, or love or shares for your project, for your product, for you to be considered a creative in that sense. So I think that that's like my biggest advice, is to lean into whatever that given talent is.
Wow, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. You've collaborated with artists such as Smino for topical campaigns and billboards. What dream collab would you like to have in the future? Oh my gosh, you collaborated with Smino?
Yeah, we did a project with Smino. That was our last project, and we're not letting, just so you know, we have more fun projects on the way. Honestly, loved working with Smino. Very, very sweet guy. Self-care is what they call him, and he's someone who like really supports Black-owned businesses, particularly really loves women, and then also is just a big supporter of self-care, and so fit really well with our last launch and did wonders for us of how people saw us as a brand. I think it's really exciting to celebrate your own heroes in your community, and I think a lot of times, you know, aren't represented in campaigns because maybe other mainstream brands see the value in him. We see the value in the community. We see the value in artists like him, and so we'll continue to collaborate with them. I think a dream collab for me is, I love that SZA has been very open talking
Yes.
her skincare journey, and I think the other person is Keke Palmer. Love both of them. Again, they're very open about their skincare journey. They're very Black women who have understand what under the spotlight, and so I could bring a really great kind of experience because of their own personal experience with their skin conditions to the community.
Yeah, when you mentioned Keke Palmer, oh my goodness. I remember when she posted the post about her skin, because, you know, usually when we see Keke Palmer, her face is usually like, it looks so radiant. So when she posted a picture of her post-acne scars and all that, a lot of people were like most definitely shocked because she always just looks so good.
Yeah.
I thought it was impossible for her to like have scars because we all believe that celebrities just do not have any skin problems because they look so good.
Filters and makeup, let me tell you, and angles.
Literally.
Right? You wouldn't know that most of your celebs have like acne scarring and all these things. You wouldn't know that because, again, retouching, filters, makeup, angles, you can make anyone look flawless.
Literally. And like there's also like the illusion with our cameras, and when you use different apps, they make you look differently. Like when you use like the Snapchat camera, it looks different.
Right.
When you use your actual phone camera, and it's like, oh, hold on, this was not there last time.
Yeah.
Even though it's been there the entire time. So when she had posted it, it made me realize just like how real these people are sometimes. Like she's most definitely opened up about how her skincare journey has been a struggle,
Right.
and how she was still on the lookout for like other products that would help with her skin. And I love her vulnerability and transparency with the whole situation, because I feel like I could connect with her in that moment, because I don't wear makeup that much. Like the face that I have right now is the face that I show every single day. And you know, sometimes people will literally come up to me and be like, "Why don't you wear makeup? Why don't you just?" And it's just like, it's not that I don't want to. It's just this is my face. And honestly, sometimes it does get annoying, because when my face is doing great, then something happens. Literally something happens on my face, and it's like I can't catch a break. But I think one of the many things that I've enjoyed about celebrities who come out about like their skin problems is that it's our skin, bro.
Yeah,
It's literally our
it is like
skin.
super fluid and messy, just like your life. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
for topicals we focus on the journey versus the destination of clear skin, because, like you just said, right, your skin can be super clear and then all of a sudden a pimple pops up, and we believe that you shouldn't like obsess over that pimple, because it's like the journey of being able to just like work on your skin, then go back. Like the constant ebb and flow is just like life, and it's like just like there is that thing like good and bad, and how nothing is necessarily good or bad. Like similarly, your skin and your life are just as messy as like anything else.
Yeah, I love that. I love the whole purpose and mission statement for like topicals, because I feel like that's what sets it apart from like a lot of other skincare brands. And also like it's also affordable too. Like I paid $32 for Paula's Choice exfoliant, and the brightening serum is literally the same price. So it's like that's not bad at all, especially
Yeah,
because you get what you're paying for. So it's like pretty
we
good.
we try to make our products as accessible as possible. I think my background, I was pre-med in college and really thought I wanted to be a dermatologist. And then I realized people who look like me, and honestly, a ton of people in the United States and outside of the United States, don't necessarily have access to healthcare. And so I thought it would be super great for me to be one of the few Black dermatologists. But what would be even better is that if I could make products that worked for people's skin more accessible. And so I wanted to make sure that price wasn't a really big barrier. And I think sometimes our products aren't the cheapest on the market, but also
Yeah.
the value of what you're getting. So, for example, if you take Faded, we have 7 of the active ingredients that help with dark spots. So, if you were to buy cheaper products, you'd have to buy 7 different products. And let's say they were $10. You end up spending $70 to get the same effect as if you just used our one product, which is 38. And so I think that sometimes people don't necessarily understand that part of like product development and the science of things. And I think also smaller brands can't always charge less prices because you have like people to pay. You know, you have, for us, we donate money to mental health organizations. So there's a lot of other things that are on our like balance sheet before we like
Yeah.
price a product super duper low. So the quality of our products for themselves. And so we wanted to make our products as accessible as possible and cost, but also make sure that we can pay people a little bit and also donate to different mental health organizations.
Yeah, I feel like because I used to be that way too. I used to never understand the way like pricing would work for products, because like I used to think it was just a profit. Like I feel like it goes beyond like just a profit, because there's a lot that goes into it, especially when it comes to like skincare brands. Like you just mentioned, there's 7 active ingredients that are typically used for hyperpigmentation and dark spots and stuff like that. Meanwhile, there are other products that have one, like niacinamide or azelaic acid. Like it's just that, you know. But when you combine all those 7, it kind of makes sense why it's like more of that. But then
Right.
you see beyond that, and it's like, okay, yeah, we also give to this, we also do this, we also do that. So everything is going somewhere. It's not like it's just going to one place.
Right. And so
I
I think
like that.
something that I have to do a better job of also, I'm not shy per se, but I just like love to do the work. So like I'm not someone who technically like I don't go live at all unless it's like I'm doing something with someone else. Go live. I'm just not really one of the person who's like loud for no reason. Like I rather the work be really loud versus like me be loud. So, but I think I do need to do a better job of like just breaking down and help people understand this. I think particularly in the Black community, because we've been starved of opportunity, we don't always understand the ins and outs of business, whether it's launching or actually understanding pricing. There are a lot of nuances that I think a lot of Black-owned business owners don't know, and I think that I should do a better job. I'm putting it on myself. I should do a better job of like explaining to people. So I appreciate you bringing me on because I get opportunities like this to talk about why your products super um, well makes sense. I think I'll add one more thing on the pricing, and that's like going to retail. I think a lot of people want your products to be in retail, right? You want to be able to go to Sephora or Target or Ulta and get the products. What a lot of people don't know is that when you go into retail, you lose. So, for example, if your product costs 38 and you go into a retail deal like we have, you know, these retailers take between 40 and 60% of that cost. So think about if it takes you like $10 to make the product and then you're charging $38, that's like $28 you have left as margin, right? That's what you think. But if you are selling to a retailer and they're taking 50% of your margin, so 38 divided by 2 is, if I can do math, $14.
Yes.
So if my cost of goods is $10 and then Sephora, Ulta, Target or whatever is taking $14, now how much do I have left? So if they're $14, my product costs $10. How much is my margin?
So it would be 14 minus 10 would be $4.
$4.
$4, yeah.
Product that you're like, well, this product costs $38. I make on a $38 product because of all these things. So I think it's really important for people to understand that brands who price their products and it feels inaccessible or it feels higher, it's because of their cost of goods. So next time y'all are like, you know, this product should be $5. It's like if someone sold it for $5, wouldn't even make a profit, let alone
wouldn't make anything.
Because if it's like that $4, then I got to use that $4 to pay staff. I got to use it to make new product, to reinvest. I got to do it to like market and have really cool branding. So I think people have to understand that when you price a product and you want to go into retail and be accessible to people, pricing really matters, or you will literally be in the negative. And that's why we see a lot of our favorite Black-owned brands go out of business because they price products too low.
Yeah, I feel like, because I know a lot of issues that a lot of the people have like with Black-owned businesses is the prices, but I feel like people fail to understand, like, until you run a business and own a business, you won't understand what goes into the pricing and why the pricing is like that. Like, there's a lot that goes in, because it's not just one person. It's like a bunch of people. It's like people say it takes a community to raise a person. It takes a community to run a business too. So
yeah, like you don't want to pay. You don't have to rob. What do they say? Rob Peter to pay Paul, because that's it's like you think, okay, then like before you know it, you're like everything is wiped out because you're like, okay, well I gotta pay this person $1 and this person $1.
Yeah, because the list never ends. Because it's like always something. Like, you have to put money towards something to do this, to do that, to keep the business afloat. Like, there's just so much sacrifices that have to be made to get all that stuff done. But like, I stopped focusing on pricing with Black businesses a long time ago because like I've known firsthand what goes into it, because my mom used to run her own business and I would see her stressed over all of that. So it's like, I understand that, but most people don't understand the mentality because they don't know people who run a business, or they've never run a business themselves, which is understandable. But at the same time, like, just support any way that you can. Like, I was told the biggest way you can always support a business is always signing up for their email list, because that's how you get like notifications in your email when they have a sale, when they have new products coming out and all that, because that's honestly like the best way to get in the know about like a business or a company that you like. That way, let's say if they have a 50% off sale going on, you can buy something, because whatever you pay for goes straight to the company, so you're supporting it in any way that you can.
Right.
So I always sign up for emails, even when I'm broke. When I'm broke, I'll still buy something, because like, any support is support. Like, I just love to support whenever I can. So I think that's a great mentality to also have when it comes to like Black businesses. It's like any support is support at all.
Right.
All right. What is your favorite thing to do outside of work?
I love watching documentaries. I'm like a really, really big nerd. Like, I'm an academic. If I could go back to school, I would go back to school. Like, I really love learning. And so I'm always watching documentaries. I'm really, really into like music right now. My fiance is a producer, so I'm always watching like music stuff, or like the history of, I don't know, there's also this podcast. I don't know how I randomly found out about it, probably on Twitter, but it's called Business Wars, and it's by a company called Wondery. And basically it talks about these different businesses and like, you know, again, it takes you into the ins and outs of like why a business is successful or why one is And so the one I was listening to was about BlackBerry versus iPhone, and it's really really good. And it was talking about how like BlackBerry, it really talks about like those brands that we grew up with, and all of a sudden they just died out, and you're like, what happened to
Yep.
the brand? Business Wars really goes in depth. They do like Hershey's versus Mars, which is like I think it's like Hershey's versus like Kit Kat, all the different
Yeah.
companies.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do a lot of like business wars. So I'm listening to that. Um, yeah, I'm really very much into like my mom used to drop us off at Barnes and Nobles in the summer. Like I didn't go to summer camp. I didn't do none of that. My Nigerian mother dropped me at Barnes and Nobles, and we would read all day. I used to hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. But now I love reading, so I read it.
No, it's crazy. Like when we're being told to read, we wouldn't do it. But
Yeah.
now,
Yes.
oh gosh,
Oh,
it's crazy. Like I love reading too. Like I think one of many things I love reading is like new information about different things. Like I find myself liking history a bit more now,
same.
especially with the situations taking place in Ukraine and not Soviet Union, Russia. It's so funny because when we were learning about history in high school, I did not care. But
Yeah.
now that I'm able to understand the reason why the feud is happening, that I just feel so ahead of time. Like I'm just like, I know why that's happening.
You're living in history, which is like when you make that mind shift from like, oh, history is something that just happens to like I can influence history, or like I'm living in history. Like people always say like this time period in the textbooks, people are gonna be confused. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
how do people right now did not like how do they make it through? But if you think about it, that's how we think about the Spanish flu. That's how we think
Yeah.
about time periods. And so I think it's just fun to understand your history now.
Like I like most definitely because my mom, she literally told me something the other day. She said it's important that you keep up with the times because despite the fact that they might ask you that she said that they might ask you that in like an interview question, and I was like, I literally told her if they asked me what's going on in the current stuff, I'll be like, I wouldn't know what to tell you because I wouldn't pay attention. But now I do
Right.
because it's important to like keep up to date because there's so much happening in this world every single day. Like the United States is not the only country in this
It is.
world.
And we grew up.
Like there's Europe, there's Africa,
Yeah.
there's Australia, there's all these other places that also have things going on there. So it's important to be aware of those things too, while also focusing on the things that are taking place in your own country.
Right.
Like it used to throw me off when like elections would take place. I'd be like, state elections. What is that? Or
Right.
like the county ones or like the city ones. I'm just like,
Yeah.
but now like I take those things seriously because those are equally as important as national elections.
Right.
Because that's what gets them to those points too. So like you'll be surprised how much you will learn from just like simple things like this.
Like reading, honestly, reading, I think in the Apple apps, there's like a news feed, like just even reading that and understanding
Yes.
can like, one, like it's how it affects stocks. You can know what's going on that way. You should obviously know like what's going on so that if there is anything directly affecting you or people know, so I think it is, really important to
Definitely. I most definitely learned the hard way because I work with people who stay very up to date with the times, and I feel so, so proud that I know what they're talking about because it's like sometimes I just be talking about random stuff, just be like, oh my gosh, when did we get into politics? Because let me say something, I hate politics, the passion. But
everything
when
is
it comes
political
to
these days, though. So you can't even hate politics because everything is political.
I know, and that's
So
the annoying part. Like everything is so divided and like together. It's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, politics is so annoying. It's so annoying. I hate it. Oh gosh. So NC is filled with dreamers. We want to know, what is your biggest dream or goal in life?
So that's such a fun question because it depends on like what part of my life. And I feel like something that I've come to fall in love with about myself that I used to hate a lot is that I like a lot of things. I'm not the person who wants to just do one thing. And so I think the biggest dream I have for myself, and I posted this, like that post I was talking about earlier, but like my goal is to leave this earth as an empty vessel. Like every business that needs to be birthed out of me, every idea, every collaboration, like it must be birthed out of me before I leave this earth. And so I think that is like that's my biggest goal, is like you will see me in every industry and like how does that make any sense? But just know it's me. I'm that girl when it comes to like living out my dreams, and I'm gonna like do that. And I don't have to be afraid of like who understands, who wants to support, because they'll get it when they get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. So,
Period.
so I literally living out every single variation of who I am. And I think like I have a ton of different variations and a ton of different like sides of who I am. So it's gonna be really exciting to test all of those out. You will see a couple coming soon, especially this summer. I'm really excited. But everyone lives like 12,000 lives in their lifetime. I think like a lot of people don't know all the different lives I've lived.
Right.
I was a pageant girl growing up. I
Wow.
ran track. I won the state meet for Texas and then went to UCLA on full scholarship and was like tried out for world's teams and stuff, like almost Olympics. I obviously now run a beauty business. What else have I done? Like I'm very, very, very multifaceted, and I used to
Yeah, this is what I was literally thinking in my
feel
head.
yeah,
Multifaceted.
I used
Like,
to feel bad about it because I used to feel like I'm not focused because people used to always be like, just do one thing. But I think people misunderstand the phrase jack of all trades is better. Well, what is it? Jack of all trades, but master of none is still much better than a master of one. So it's like you want to be multifaceted and you can be multifaceted. And I think like that's who we are as humans. And when we start to put ourselves in a bucket, like we can only do or be this one thing, we actually do God a disservice because we don't live out all the like talents he's given us.
yeah, that is. I love that quote that you just said. That was so beautiful. I love that because the previous person that we interviewed, he was also multifaceted too. Like he did everything. I was like, oh my goodness. But it's also so inspiring too, because like I feel like as people, we are created to do multiple things. Like there's not just one thing that we're good at. We're good at multiple things. But I think as society has made us feel like we can only do one. But people are out here proving that statement wrong because people are out here being jack of trades and all types of things. Like there are people who are doing three things at once and making multiple streams of incomes doing those things. And it's like, it's so amazing, especially when like as young as you are, because we always hear the term the 20s, 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 20s from older generations. They say your 20s are the times where you're supposed to make the mistakes, supposed to do all this, supposed to do all that. And it's like, I feel like it's so hard to understand that because we're in that moment now.
Right.
Most of us are in our 20s and we feel like if we aren't doing something, we're failing. By
Yeah.
the time we reach 30, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm not making six figures. I failed. But I think one of the main things that we have to understand is like our lives are our lives the way that they are. And the most important thing that we have to understand and take from that is if you're living your life and you're enjoying your life, you're doing life right. Doesn't matter if you're not making money the way that other people are making money, money is going to come.
Yeah.
Whether it comes tomorrow, next year, whatever, it's going to come. And like, how
Yeah.
does it feel to be multifaceted? Like, that
It,
is just amazing.
I,
Like,
my brain is in 12 different directions. Like it can be very hard sometimes, like for your brain to feel like it's on overdrive. Like I like to tweet, or I think one of my friends posted something. It's like it's almost painful to have so many good ideas because you are only one person. There's some
yeah,
I'm working on to hopefully like I kind of tweeted this probably like a year ago or 6 months ago where I'd love to start almost like a it's like I would hire someone as a CEO who has either a background or a passion for an idea that I have, and then like they would run it, they would own equity in the business, part equity business, and like I would be their operating partner because I can't physically execute all the businesses I want to, but I like being involved on the operations side. I think most investors just like a ton of ideas and want to put money in and do it. I actually like the operations, like the 0 to 1 building a business. In the future, I'm hoping that I'll have the opportunity, excuse me, to do that. Um, but yeah, I think the last thing I will leave everyone though is being a jack of all trades and all, but so you also don't have to be a jack of all trades. Like if you want to do one thing, if you want to do nothing, do that also. Okay, like do that as well because being a jack of all trades can end you up in the hospital. So I recommend doing whatever. Like I love the phrase. The rules are fake, do you? So whether you want to do 20 things or 0 things or one thing, like find a life that makes sense to you. You were saying this earlier, like find a life that makes sense to you and then go after that and make sure you work as hard. Because some people can like work and then retire and now you have to do
yep,
nothing, right? Some
yep,
people like myself love to do 12 things at one time. And so I think it's just figuring out what that thing is for you and then sticking with that thing. And then also being comfortable with saying, you can change. Sometimes I can be the person who wants to do 12 things, other days I want to do nothing. Sometimes you want to be the person who does nothing, other times you want to have 7 businesses running at one time. So,
Yeah.
like I said, the rules are fake. Do you?
Yep. Oh my gosh, you're dropping so many gems today. Like,
I
that is amazing. Oh,
thank you
all
so much
right.
for having me. I've had like so much fun. I don't know if other people have any questions. I do have to run, but if anyone has any questions, I try my best to get through DMs, but honestly, everything else is like pulling my attention. I think I'm gonna start to go live a little bit more to just like answer people's questions. But I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. It was a pleasure talking to you, laughing with you, and just enjoying each other's time. Like I really enjoyed this so much. Like you don't understand. Like I feel like these interviews always inspire me to like do more. Like even though I'm doing a lot now, it inspires me to just keep going, you know? Cuz like if
Thank
you can do it, we all can do
No,
it.
you
Cuz
can.
it's just
You probably do
amazing.
it better than me because I'm not that. When I tell you, I'm not really not that smart. No one is actually really smart. They
Mhm.
read, and like I've been in rooms with people who are like, "Oh my gosh, they're so impressive," and they're asking me questions, and I'm like, "I just got here. Like, what is? I think it's Lil Uzi. Like, this is my third day out here. Really, it's just my third day out here." And so I think that people have to understand that like it can be intimidating sometimes to feel like you're the dumbest in the room, but I think it's great to be the dumbest in the room because then you're learning from others. And then also, you're not the dumbest in the room. No one knows what they're doing. Everyone's trying to figure it out. As long as you come with an attitude of like problem solving, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm most definitely gonna keep that in mind because I always feel intimidated by people, but that's a great reminder to have. Well, it was really great talking to you and taking your time to just speak with us and everything. I wish your allergies do get better and
Thank
that you
you.
are back on track tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you once again for talking to
Of
us.
course. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Olamide. Please make sure you follow her in Topicals and check out her products as well. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, we'll see you next time.